Good morning, students. Today we're going to work on video animation with Scratch. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add in our sprites. So I'm going to use the sprite cat here, and I'm going to add in another sprite. So I'm going to go to choose a sprite here, and I go to search, and I'll put in dragon. Yeah, add my dragon in. Okay, so now I got a cat and I got a dragon, and I can move this over here. And I'm going to make the dragon a little smaller. To make the dragon smaller, I take that 100 and maybe I'll make it 70. Okay, so now he's a little bit smaller. And now the next thing I'm going to do is add a balloon. So I'm going to go down here and then search and for balloon. Yeah, actually it's right over here, so I don't have to search for it. So now I have a cat, dragon, and balloon. Next thing I need to do is I need to add in a background. So I go down here, okay, search, and I add, and you pick the one that you like for your, for your background. So I'll pick castle. It's up to you however you want to do it. I'll put them down here, okay, so I'll put them at the bottom, maybe the balloon a little up, however you want to do it. The next thing I want to work on is I want to add in video sensing. Okay, now video sensing, you have to add it as an extension. So you see we have sensing over here, but we need video sensing. So you have to add it as an extension. So I'm going to go down here to add extensions, and I'm going to click, and I do video sensing. Okay, so notice, and now this is going to pop up. They're going to say, do you want to use your camera now? And I'm going to allow it. Okay, so now my camera's on. Okay, so it's sort of, you see it's a little bit mixed. It has me, and it has the cat sprite and the dragon and the balloon. Okay, so this is a project that it's only going to work if you have a camera on your computer. If you don't have a camera, don't worry about it. Just do the code as best you can. And then when we're in school next year, we have the cameras in the school and the computers. You will be able to do it much easier. So don't worry if you don't have a camera. Just do the best that you can. And I want you still to add the code though. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to work on the cat. Okay, so we want to make the cat, we want to make it appear as if we're petting the cat in the game. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to go down here where it says video sensing. Does everybody see it says video sensing? And I'm going to do when video motion is greater than. And I'm going to make this 20. So what do I want to happen? Up 20, I'm sorry. What do I want to happen when the video motion is greater than 20? So what happens is Scratch can sense when there's movement on the screen. And when the movement is sensed as greater than 20, we want the cat to do something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sound, and I'm going to say play meow until done. Now if you don't want to use meow, you could use sound, and you could go down here, and you could search. Oh, sorry about that. You could search, and you put in your own sound that you like. Okay, you could pick whichever sound that you like. But I want to use the meow. So I'll say play meow until done. Okay. So now when I have my flag clicked, I'm going to take my hand and when I move, does everybody see when I take my hand and I move it across the screen, the cat says meow. Okay. Okay. So now I'll take that off. Okay, now I'll take that off because I don't want it to be going the whole time. And now I want to work on the dragon. Okay, so after you do the cat, please take a photo of it. So after you have this code in here, play meow sound until done, please take a photo of it so that we could use it for your project. Okay, so I'll take it off because we don't want it going the whole time. Now we want to work with the dragon, and we want the dragon to switch costumes. Okay, so we go to dragon, and now we want to use the same thing. We go to video sensing, and when video motion is greater than, and when video motion is greater than 20, what do we want to happen? We want the dragon to have a different costume. We want to make it look like when we move our hands, the dragon is changing its costume. By costume, I mean over here. See, we have different dragons. We have a fire dragon, and we have a regular dragon, and we have an in-between dragon, right? So what we want to do is we want to make it look like when we touch the screen or move our hand across the screen, the dragon's going to have a fire. It's going to have a look of fire like this. So let's program that. That's dragon C has the fire. Dragon A doesn't have the fire, okay? So let's code it so that it looks like the dragon has fire. So here's how we're going to do it. We go to video sensing, When motion is greater than, we drag it over and make this 20. Then we're going to go to looks. And we're going to say switch costume to dragon C. So what this is going to do is when I move my hand across the screen, we're going to see the dragon have his fire here when it senses the motion. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is we'll put a little bit of a weight. So we'll go to control and we'll do weight. And we're going to do wait. You could make it wait 1 second. I'll make it wait half a second. Wait half a second. And then we'll go to looks and we'll switch costume to Dragon A. Now Dragon A has no fire, right? Dragon A has no fire and Dragon C has fire. So what we're telling the computer is when you sense the motion, change the dragon to have the fire, wait, and then go back to the non-fire dragon. So let's take a look. Click my flag. Now when I click my motion across the screen, see when I put my hand across the screen, you see the fire going across the dragon. Okay? So I'm keeping it going here. Okay? And then he's got his as I'm moving my hand across the camera, the dragon has his fire going. So when you're done with that code, please take a photo of that one as well. Okay? Now the reason why I'm disconnecting the code is if I left it on, we're going to have a lot of action going. The cat's going to be making noise and the dragon's going to be having his fire going. And it's just a little too chaotic to have all those things at once. So that's why after I do one, I take the code off. So please, after you do each one, you take a photo, and that way you have your work done. So take a photo of the cat and take a photo of the dragon. So with the cat, we use the video sensing to make sound. And with the dragon, what we were doing here, I'll do it again. We did it so that when there's motion, right? You see my hand going in front of the camera? The dragon is switching his costume and it's making it look as if my hand is controlling the dragon's fire. But it's really the code here. It's the code. When the video sensing goes up, you're going to change your costume, you wait, and then go back to the costume with no fire. Okay, so I'll disconnect that. Okay, so that's our second code. And now the next thing we're going to work on is we're going to work on our balloon. Okay, so we have our cat, we have our dragon, now we work on our balloon. Okay, now with our balloon, what we're going to do is we're going to make the balloon move, and we're going to make the balloon make a sound, and we're going to make the balloon change colors. Okay, so now let's work on our balloon. So same thing, video sensing. When video motion is greater than 20. Now, if you want to, you could change this number. You could make it, a higher number, which means it's going to be less likely to interact with the camera. So if I made this 50, I have to really move a lot to make the balloon get sensed as the video sensing. So I'm going to put 20, but you could adjust it if you want. If you made this 10, a little slight movement will also cause the code to move. So I want to add sound. I want to say when there's motion across the screen, right? When I move my hand across the screen, I want to play a sound. So I go sound, and I'm going to use the pop sound. But if you want a different sound, you go to sounds. Go to sounds. Down here, search, and you could put your sound in here. Okay, you pick the one that you like. And if you wanted to do your own sound, you could record your sound. But I'm not going to be working on that today. But I feel pop works the best for this situation, but if you want a different sound, you could pick it in here. And the next thing you're going to do is, first you got your pop sound. The next thing we're going to do is, we want to make the balloon go randomly. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to say when I make my hand go across the screen, the computer will sense the video. We're going to play a pop sound, and I want the balloon to move randomly. I want the balloon to go somewhere on the screen. So I'm going to go to motion, and I'm going to say go to random position. Okay, so when I click my hand across the screen, when I connect all the code, the balloon will make a pop sound and it will go randomly across the screen. And then I also want to go to looks, and I want to change my color. Okay, now I have change color effect by 25. You could change it to one of these other ones if you want. It's up to you, and you could change this number. It's just your code, however you want to do it. So I'll show you how this one looks when you put it together. Okay, so now I have my balloon set up. So I have my flag clicked. I click my flag on the top, and now I take my hand, and you see the balloon moves, it changes colors, and it makes sound. Okay, now I'm just going to disconnect this for a little bit because I'm trying to explain what's going on. So when the motion is sensed, the computer is told to play the pop sound, and the balloon will move to a random position, and it will change color. So you could change your code. If you want to have it, instead of change color, You could have it change size, right? You could have the background change, right? You could do a lot of different things with your code. You could, as I said earlier, you could change this to something else instead if you like, and you could have a different sound, right? So we talked about sounds. You can go here and choose a different sound, okay? So what I would like you to do this week is I'd like you to work on the 3 codes, and I just disconnected this so that I could speak without the sound going on. So first I'd like you to do the balloon code, then I'd like you to do the dragon code, and then I would like you to do the cat code, and the cat had a sound of meow. The cat had the meow there, okay? So first add your 3 sprites in, and you could use different sprites, it's up to you. Then you could add your background in, and the way you got the video sensing was you go to extensions down here, and you add your video in, okay? So that's going to be our project, and when you're done, please take a photo of each of the 3 sprites, and you could add more sprites if you want, it's up to you, but please add a photo of those 3 so that I could see your code, and please attach those photos to Google Classroom so I could see if your code needs any debugging.